All right, we'll try and reconnect that line with our guest. But on your screen is the statement that's come in on what's happening vis-a-vis the Nagrota station. We do know that the army has talked about the army has talked about the suspicious movement that was noticed and the brief exchange of fire that's been observed. As we continue to monitor the latest coming in, we are also awaiting further details and inputs from our correspondents on the ground about what things are looking like in different parts of the country, as we have been piecing together for you and getting you the minute-by-minute updates of the situation, the way it's unfolded over the last couple of hours as well. Remember, earlier explosions were heard in Srinagar. We were also getting you a sense of what the situation was looking like in different parts. Let's just play out for you some of these reactions that we have been getting in. We earlier spoke to Major General Neeraj Bali, and this is what he shared with us.
Irrational as it is for us to start seeing violations nearly half an hour after the press conference was held. But there can be broadly two explanations for this. One, of course, is that Pakistan is having a buyer's remorse. There is a second thought about the ceasefire, which is unlikely. So there is another explanation. Now, let's look at what had happened. 3:35, the Pakistani DGMO had called. 6 o'clock, we held a press conference. And nearly half an hour later, this whole thing started. There is quite a possibility that there is a large element within the Pakistani army, what we usually refer as a rogue element, in this case, rogue formations or rogue divisions, people who have not reconciled to the idea of the ceasefire. Look, so like we said, we are waiting and watching, and let's see what happens. Because if this is a divide within the Pakistani army, which is manifesting itself in this action, then I'm afraid we are looking at a very major action within Pakistan in the next 24 to 48 hours. Pakistan is not a stranger to coups, for example, not a stranger to all kinds of upheavals between the political leadership and the military leadership. So if there is a division which is leading to this. Interestingly, I looked at 3 Pakistani newspapers just before we came on air. None of them is mentioning any action on the line of control. So there is obviously, some hesitation there. Otherwise, if they were to blame us, they would be the first ones to say that we have violated the line of control. Neither the Dawn, nor the Pakistan Tribune, nor the Daily Times, none of them is mentioning a single word about this violation. So something is going on.
All right, so that is what the situation is like at the moment. India is urging Pakistan to address the violations. Remember, there were some explosions had been heard earlier in Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir. But for the time being, though, everything is under control. Everything is pretty calm. And the agencies are telling us, the security agencies have told us that everything is currently in order. And all those projectiles that have been witnessed over the skies, they've all been intercepted. Now, India and Pakistan, remember, agreed to a ceasefire following 4 days of intense cross-border fighting. And we earlier spoke with defense and strategic experts who suggest that while some of Pakistan's recent actions can be seen as a violation of the agreement, they also suggest that this could take up to almost 48 hours for the ceasefire to be fully enforced on the ground. Listen in to what was said.
That firstly, please have patience, don't be alarmist, and do not panic, because whenever a ceasefire has been announced, it's a diplomatic announcement, it's a national announcement, but if you go back to the 71 war, it takes even up to 48 hours for the last round to be fired, the last shell to be fired across the IB, or in this case, maybe the LC. So it is nothing to worry about. Decisions have been taken at a very high level. If you remember, Pakistan, the DGMO actually called up ours at about 15:35, 15:45. And then at 1700, this decision was taken at a national level, at both the national level and possibly at an international level. What I'm trying to say is, it's only 3 hours. There are drones. Yes, there will be drones. So we need not panic, because nothing has stood down. And trust me, Mohammed Salah, nothing will stand down. Even on the Indian side, we will remain on high alert. Our forces will be wherever they are, posturing in the manner they are, till a very long time. Even after the next, say, 48 hours, 72 hours, they will stay there.
Pakistan, if they have definitely violated this ceasefire. It was effective from 1700 hours today. At 1530 hours, the DGMO had spoken to our DGMO requesting for a ceasefire. So that means the communication would have started going right down to the troops at the forward level, the tactical level, and Pakistani communication system would have conveyed that the ceasefire is coming. That it has been broken is very clear now. It's very clear, right from Gujarat. Much drones are being seen, so it's not coming from thin air. Now, what happens? Look, Pakistan already fell deeper into the ditch, deeper from grace, by showing that funeral ceremony in Bhavalpur, where the terrorists have been saluted and given a state-level funeral.